Hello and happy Saturday, Vlogmas day 13. I should look at this before I make the video. I think it's somewhere around there. But anyway, it's about 6 o'clock right now on Friday night. And I just got back from working at the CCO. And today is exciting because today was my last day of classes of a fall semester as an undergraduate. So it's really weird that I've only got one semester left here at Kentucky. I've been here, this is just finished my ninth semester, well, almost finished with my ninth semester. And this semester was definitely one of the longest, also one of the quickest and most challenging semesters I've had, both in terms of just schoolwork and balancing that with the CCO work and ASB and other student orgs, and then working with a marching band here in Lexington, and then working with the drum corps that you'll hear more about later. So it's just been a lot to balance that. And so it's gone really fast, but at the same time, it's gone really slow, if that makes sense. I feel like everyone's kind of experienced that feeling before, but it's like hard to describe and kind of like understand. But yeah, I was walking home and it was like, wow, I've only got one semester left here basically, which is weird. Because I just feel like I've been here for forever, even though it really hasn't been that long. I feel like you just change so much during your years in college. You really just like become, I know I've definitely become a whole new person throughout my 4.5, almost 5 years here. And so looking back on who I was when I was 18 and I first walked on Kentucky's campus versus who I am now at 22 are two so very different people. And so even though like freshman year seems so long ago, it also seems really quick, really shortly words. It also seems like it's really close in the past. And I think that's, I don't know, I feel like that's a common thing. Like when you grow up, as you get older, like some memories seem so far away, even though they aren't that far away. And some of them seem really close, even though they may be from when you're like 7. So it's just weird how the brain works and how your brain processes things and categorizes memories and stuff. So that was a tangent. Anyway, so with it being a really long and stressful semester, something that I've really been trying to do a lot more of, have not done a good job at, but been trying to do, is as I've gotten older, I'm sure many of you all have experienced, but like the amount of energy that you have is not the same. Like my first year of college, I could get 4 nights of sleep every night for weeks and be fine. Now I try that and it's not good. No, doesn't work. So something that we've been talking a lot about in the CCO and several of my other classes as well is how to take care of yourself mentally and keep that mental well-being up, which is just as important, if not more important, than your physical well-being. And so how do you balance the mental health with the physical health, social health, school health, involvement health, all these different areas that are important to keep up and important to have? How do you balance that? And I feel like in general, we really don't talk about mental health and how do you keep yourself happy, motivated, calm, collected, really going forward throughout the semester when, you know, things get rough, you've got a lot going on, you just feel like there's so much going on, you never catch a breath type of thing. So I was earlier in October, I went to the Kentucky Leadership Nonprofit Seminar, I think KYLNF. Yes, that's the acronym. So this was a 2-day seminar for all of the nonprofits in Kentucky to come to. And nonprofits are the 3rd largest employers in Kentucky. So there was a lot of people there. It was really cool sessions, lots of good things to go to. And one of the sessions that we went to that was one of my favorites was this woman who teaches sociology at University of Kentucky. And she had this 8-hour presentation that she normally gives, but she condensed it down into 1 hour. And as you can imagine, she didn't get to everything, which is fine, but there was still a lot of good information. We talked a lot about how do you find that rejuvenation? How do you find those times to really just be yourself and not be worrying about school or work or your family or friends or anything like that, and really take that time to recollect your thoughts and then come back re-energized and recharged. We talked a lot about how in Europe, their work days are normally like 6 to 8 days, and no one works during lunch, no one works at home, nothing like that. And studies have shown that you actually get a lot more work done when you do things like work for an hour or work for 45, 50 minutes and then take a 10-minute break and go for a walk or play a game or something like that. You're a lot more efficient in those little energy bursts instead of just trying to marathon 16-hour days at work. So that's something that I've tried to really practice, but it's really easy to preach it, but it's really hard to practice it. As I'm sure many of you all know, we know it's important to sleep and important to do things and take time off and stuff, but it's just really hard to actually do that. So I'm going to share with y'all some things that I've learned this semester that have really helped. The first one is the most recent edition, and it's called Kitty Collector, and it's great. It really is. So basically what it is, it's this virtual game that was developed in Japan, and it's an app on the Apple Store, or in the App Store, and on Android you can get it. And basically what you do is you have this yard, and you buy, with your silverfish and your goldfish, you buy toys and things for cats to come live on. And then when they come and they enjoy themselves and they have fun, and then they give you goldfish and silverfish in return, and then you can buy more things and expand your yard, and then more cats come and you get more money. So it's not like an interactive game, like you can't play with the cats or anything, but it's kind of just like a nice, like, okay, I've been working for 40 minutes. Let me check my cats, see how they're doing. Let me collect some awards, get some mementos, buy new things, take some pictures of my cat, stuff like that. So I'm going to put in some screen caps from that now. It's a really great game. If you just go to your app store, you type in Kitty Collector, you can find it there. They have a dog version of it, but it's still in Japanese. So if you read Japanese and you can understand that language, go for it. But I do not. Yo no puedo. I can only do Spanish and English, so I don't have that one. But the cat one's a lot of fun. So here's some pictures from that one. So those are all my cats there. We've got a lot. It's growing. I really love the game. It's a lot of fun. I can't remember who introduced that to me. It was either Carrie or Grace, but they brought it in, and there's a bunch of us in the CCO who play it, and Maggie started playing it as well, so it's lots of fun. Another thing that kind of sounds funny, but I've gotten really into is coloring books. So this is another tip from Carrie and from the Kentucky Nonprofit Leadership Network seminar that we went to. That's my hand. There we go. That's just awkward. I do this every time and it never works out. So coloring books, they're really good to just it's just mindless labor, mindless things. You're really able to concentrate on something and you can really focus in on that and not worry about what's going on in the world. So I've got one that I'm going to show you all. It's an architecture book and I love cities. I'm actually going to show you two. Another one I got from Carrie as a ASB holiday present last night. So here we go. So this is the coloring book. It's called Architecture. I got it from Walmart. And this is all I've done. And I've had it for about 4 weeks. So as you can see, again, practicing what I preach, it's hard because it's really hard to actually find time to sit down and color, but I know it's important. But you've got all these great pictures that you can do. So I'm excited to dive more into that one. And then Carrie got me this other one. It's called Fantastic Cities. She got this at Michael's. So this one is a lot more complex, but I'm excited to dive into this one as well and do more coloring with that. So just flip through it. Look at this. Wow. I'm kind of disappointed I don't think there's a picture from Chicago, which is, I grew up in the Chicago suburbs, so I really love Chicago, but we'll investigate more and I'll let you all know. And the final thing that I want to talk about is called the 5-Minute Journal. And this was another thing that I got from the Nonprofit Leadership Network seminar thing. So they say that writing and journaling is really the best way to process what happens in the day, or one of the best ways. Especially for me, I'm very much an internal processor versus an external processor, but it just takes so long to write what happens in a day. And a lot of people don't have that amount of time. So this one is called the 5-Minute Journal, and it literally takes about 5 minutes. And so you can order it online. It's like $20. But you open it up and there's either a quote or like a weekly challenge at the top of the page, and you put the date down, and then you write 3 things that I am grateful for. What would make today great? You write down 3 things, a daily affirmation. And then that night you write down 3 amazing things that happened today and how could I have made today better? So it focuses on the principle of like framing your day with positives and positives on both ends, so that really you start seeing the world as a more positive and you start appreciating those little things. I know I really haven't done it recently. Again, it's easier to preach it instead of practice it. But really appreciating those things, like when someone compliments your shirt or when you compliment someone else's shoes, and things like that, like little things like that, and how those are so important and so valuable, and really to encourage you to do them, and really encourage you to notice them as you do them. So that's a great tool to use. I definitely need to get back into that because that was a good thing. So I put it right by my bedside, but I haven't done anything in it since before Thanksgiving break, I think. So maybe I'll jump back into that tomorrow. So those are 3 things that I use. Well, I try to use. Let me frame it that way. I try to use, but I definitely want to use more of, as far as kind of taking time to be alone, listen to some music, jam out, color, write, do things like that, play with your cats, whatever, things like that, just to really have those times to kind of break up the day and not go boom, 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 sleep, boom, 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 sleep, because that just gets exhausting after a while, and you really can wear down your brain really quickly doing that. So that was a long vlog, a lot of me talking. Hope you enjoyed it. But if any of y'all have tips on things that you do to keep your mind calm and keep the day fun and things like that, and to really work on that mental health, definitely share those, because I think that's something that we need to do a lot more of within our education systems, encouraging students, encouraging people in general to find those opportunities and find those things that allows them to express themselves creatively and do more than just work, eat, and sleep, because the life gets kind of boring after a lot of that. So I hope you all are having a great day, and we will see you later. Bye.